Think rage is your weapon? Screaming, smashing things. It burns hot, doesn't it? But here's the brutal truth. Anger's a cheap trick. They want you to explode, to hand them the win on a silver platter while they smirk and call you unhinged. Now imagine this. Silence. Cold. Unyielding silence. You stand there, eyes locked on theirs. Not a word, just raw power. It's a blade they can't dodge. It strips them bare, cracks their confidence, leaves them choking on their own doubt. Silence doesn't just speak. It roars louder than any scream. Dare to wield it, and they'll never see it coming. So, what's your move? Fall into their game, or make them fear yours? Pain cuts deep, doesn't it? Don't bury it. Let it sharpen you. They think your hurt gives them power. But here's the secret they'll never grasp. You don't show it. Never give them the satisfaction of seeing you bleed. Take that raw agony and forge it into steel they can't touch. Diamonds don't crack under pressure, they become strong in silence. Be that diamond. Let their words, their betrayal, their cruelty press down on you. But don't break. Stand tall, unyielding, a force they can't destroy. Walking away isn't weakness, it's the ultimate power move. He says, they're not worth your fight. So, will you crumble under their weight or rise above it all? You crave revenge, don't you? To make them pay for every scar they left. But here's the cold truth. Vengeance won't heal you. It'll hollow you out. I knew a guy who spent years plotting revenge. Cut off friends, lost his job, all to ruin his rival. When he finally won, he stood there, empty, because revenge didn't fix his pain. True revenge isn't destruction, it's thriving. Build a life so fierce, so untouchable that their existence becomes a footnote. Silence isn't surrender. It's your sharpest blade. It cuts deeper than screams, showing them they hold no power over you. What stings more, your tears or your triumph? Choose wisely, because one path traps you, the other sets you free. Here's a bitter pill. Most don't care about your pain. They'll step over your scars, laugh at your tears, and sleep soundly while you bleed out. Why waste your breath begging them to see your worth? Let your silence scream for you. A wolf doesn't plead with sheep. It hunts with purpose. Be that wolf. Stop explaining, stop chasing their approval, just stop. Every ignored word, every cold shoulder builds their regret. Your silence throws them off. They might wonder why their tricks didn't. Your silence isn't just defiance, it's a weapon. Will you keep feeding their egos, or let your actions carve your name into their sleepless nights? You've got a choice. Let their words chain you, or let your silence shatter them. One path keeps you caged, dancing to their twisted tune. The other sets you free, cold and untouchable. Freedom's price? It's lonely. It's dark. Not everyone can stomach it. But those who do, they become legend. They think they own you, pulling strings with every insult, every jab. They're wrong. The moment you stop reacting, you cut those strings. Silence isn't just rebellion. It's reclaiming your power. When they see they can't break you, that's when they crumble. So what'll it be? Stay their puppet or rise as their reckoning? They thrive on control, steering your every move, boxing you into their rules. But when you go silent, you rip that power away. It's like snipping the strings on their puppet show. They panic, they falter, they break. Expectations are their cage for you, packed with limits they've carved to keep you small. Guess what? You owe them nothing. No explanations, no compliance. The second you stop playing their game, their tiny box shatters. The world beyond it, it's yours, infinite, waiting. Silence isn't just defiance, it's your escape. Will you keep bending to their script, or rewrite the story on your terms? They'll cage you in their expectations, rules, limits, a perfect little box to trap your soul. Every step outside it, they'll claw you back, desperate to keep you tame. But here's the truth they dread. You don't owe them a damn thing. Not your words, not your pain, nothing. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Just break free. Silence is your key, unlocking a world they can't touch. It's infinite, raw, yours to claim. The moment you quit their game, they lose. What haunts them most, not your fight, but your absence. So, will you stay their prisoner or vanish into the unknown they fear? The cruelest revenge isn't them remembering your pain. It's them realizing you've moved on without them. They want a starring role in your story, hero or villain, just to feel they matter. Don't give it to them. Go silent, move on. Let them fade into a forgotten whisper. That's the wound that festers. No closure, just irrelevance. They'll replay every jab, every slight, wondering where they lost you. Meanwhile, you're building a life that eclipses theirs, untouched by their shadow. Silence doesn't just shield you, it erases them. What's more brutal, a fight they can win, or a void they can't fill? Choose the blade that cuts deepest. Silence unnerves them because it's unexpected. People thrive on reactions. Flip that and they're lost. Your silence starves that need, creates a void they can't stand. Psychologists call it projection. They hurl their fears at you, hoping you'll crack. But when you don't, it's a mirror. They see their own weakness staring back. Society thrives on noise, gossip, shouts, chaos. Silence. It's rare, raw, commanding. It flips the script, makes you untouchable in a world obsessed with being heard. Want to break them without lifting a finger? Stay quiet and watch them unravel. What's louder, their taunts or the echo of your stillness? Your silence doesn't just protect you, it hits them hard. Every time you hold back, every step you walk away, It cuts deeper. They'll feel it, that empty vibe, those restless nights, the quiet where you used to snap. It's not their old tricks hurting you anymore. It's them watching you climb while they crash. They'll call you cold, untouchable, a mystery they can't crack. And that truth, it'll linger, gnaw at them, long after you're gone. Silence isn't just your armor. It's their torment. What lasts longer, a fleeting fight, or the ghost of your absence? You've got a choice. Dive into their chaos or let silence be your roar. They want your shouts, your tears, fuel for their twisted game. Don't give it. The loudest fools crumble fastest. They scream to hide their weakness. Real strength? It's quiet. It's the unshakable core in a storm they can't weather. When you don't play their petty games, you don't just win. You haunt them. They'll unravel, guessing your next move, while you're already miles ahead. So, what's it gonna be? Waste your fire on their noise, or let your stillness burn hotter than their rage? Strength doesn't shout, it stalks in silence. It's the calm eye in their raging storm, the foundation they can't shake. They'll push your buttons, prod your wounds, itching for a crack to exploit. Don't give them one. Every held breath, every muted word plants doubt in their minds. It's strategic, turning their game into their unraveling. They can't predict a ghost, can't fight a shadow, while they waste their fury on nothing. You're building, rising, untouchable. What's more terrifying, a foe who screams back, or one who strikes without a sound? Silence builds a fortress. They can't breach it, no matter how hard they strike. While they exhaust themselves against your walls, you grow stronger, untouchable. It's not easy. It's lonely, raw, a grind most can endure. But that's the forge where legends are made. Success isn't a loud boast. It screams through your eyes, your unshakable glow. They'll look up, awestruck, realizing they can't touch you. Not now, not ever. Your silence didn't just save you, it built an empire. What speaks louder, their fading cries or your towering legacy? Your silence isn't just a shield, it's a legacy. It's the story they'll whisper long after you're gone, how you stood tall, strong, while the world tried to tear you down. It's not about them. It's about the fire you inspire in others to rise above. Freedom isn't given, you carve it. With every quiet step, every unbowed stare, you outgrow their chains, their noise, their limits, leaving them choking on the dust of your ascent. What's your mark? A life bound by their rules, or one that echoes beyond their reach? This is it, your moment. Will you waste your breath on their chaos or let silence be your revolution? They've hurt you, mocked you, tried to cage you, but they don't own you. Silence isn't weakness, it's power forged in fire, feared by the frail. It breaks them in ways rage never could. leaving you free, fierce, unstoppable. The world's noisy, desperate, small. Rise above it. Today, choose. Stay their prey, shackled by their games, or wield the quiet that carves your legend. What'll it be? Their puppet or their end?